We are cursed. We are cursed. Not only are we cursed, pay-per-views are cursed. They're not pay-per-views anymore. They're not PLEs anymore. Don't let WWE fool you. And I'm not saying stop watching them, okay? No, I'm not saying stop watching them. But let me tell you, they are not pay-per-views. They're not PLEs anymore. Anytime we are watching these and we have 3 to 5 minute commercial breaks between every match, and then we have the story, the lifeblood of what we see on Mondays or Fridays before the match, it's not a pay-per-view. It's not. Pay-per-views are cursed. This, what we saw tonight, is WWE Super Show on Saturday. This is what we would see on a Monday or a Friday. And they just put it on Saturday. That's it. And named it Backlash. Or what we should call it Adlash. That's it, wrestling fans. That's all this is. That's all it was. From top to bottom. Now, with me saying that, okay, I'm not saying there wasn't any good things on it, because there was. There was some good on it. And I'm going to get to that right here today. I'm getting through the entire card right here today. Okay, wrestling fans? Before I do, you all know what to do. Every single one of you does. And that is become a subscriber today. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for all notifications. It is appreciated. Go back and check out anything you have missed on the channel. Give me a like. Leave a comment. Thank you very much for joining me right here on my journey on YouTube. Now, guys, Backlash or Adlash, however you want to call it, started off hot. It did. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Now, clearly, building up Braun Breaker, all right? And they let Braun Breaker tear up Seth Rollins, okay? I'm a little surprised, though, that Braun Breaker got the victory. If the rumors are true that Seth Rollins is going to end up facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, okay? Because you don't want Seth Rollins to go around and lose all the time. At the same time, Braun Breaker coming up, and he's the young star, so you don't want him to be losing either. So you're a little torn there, but I'm a little surprised that Seth Rollins lost if he's going to be the one facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Okay? Little surprised. Now, great matchup between those two. Hot start. Braun Breaker picks up the victory at Backlash after, of course, the other two members of the division come out, and Seth Rollins tore them apart. Austin Theory and Logan Paul. Disgusting. Beat him up with the steel chair, threw the steel chair at Logan Paul, and then, of course, Seth Rollins came in and got speared in half by Braun Breaker. 1, 2, and 3. But whole matchup, really good. The kickoff Backlash. then they went into Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. You know, and this is where WWE is going to start having a hard time, and they're just going to keep doing this, okay? And I really don't like how they're doing this. It's like they start hot and then bum, 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 and then they end on a high note. And I'm not saying this match wasn't a good matchup either. But when you have the beginning of the end with the Gingerbread Man's stick being part of the finish, we got a problem here. You know, on Friday we had the Gingerbread Man's funeral. And everybody giving their condolences to the Gingerbread Man's funeral. You know, I didn't give a review of SmackDown on Friday, but it's kind of ridiculous when the main story is about the Gingerbread Man, and that's what the main story has been about with Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, and we're having a funeral of the Gingerbread Man, and now we're taking the Gingerbread Man's cane, and the cane is beating up Sami Zayn, and that ends up being one of the reasons why he got damaged and he lost the matchup. And if anybody tells me that's not one of the reasons, then that we have a problem here, because he got hit with the cane. He then went outside. He kicked someone in the face. He rolled back in. He got kicked in the face 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Trick Williams still the United States champion. And here's another problem that we have with WWE. And I'm sorry. And these pay-per-views. Not only are they going on ESPN and then to the ESPN app, which that's fine. They're doing that to try to get people to go from the ESPN, to get people to buy the ESPN Ultimate app. That's all they're doing. But you would think, okay, that you would start Backlash hot on ESPN app after the first hour. Did they? No. I mean, you think that they would have Asuka versus Io Sky start after the first hour, right? To get people, hey, this was worth my money. I'm genuinely enjoying the action that I'm watching here. No. Instead, we see Danhausen and all his little mini-me take on The Miz. Are you kidding me? That's what we saw. Open Adlash as soon as that first hour was over. There's something wrong here with these pay-per-views. When you look at the Danhausen matchup, I look at that as the cold matchup, as the tuned down match to get people ready for the main event. I don't look at John Cena's spot as a spot to get people cooled down for the main event, especially with what he announced. What he announced got people fired up, got people ready. That was a huge announcement. And anybody that says otherwise, they need to clear the eardrums out. That was something that could get people really excited about something. It's something different. It's somewhat like Cyber Sunday, kind of. And it's somewhat something like a King of the Ring tournament. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So, yes, that it was not a normal BS announcement where they announce how many people was in attendance. Okay. That match they opened the show at, as soon as they got to the app, that should have went on right before Roman Reigns versus Jacob fought too. It should have. You want to know the truth? I took my break during Danhausen versus The Miz. I couldn't tell you what went on during that match. I couldn't tell you. Danhausen picked up the victory. Yeah, he picked up the victory. I know that. Because of the same reason why things happened on SmackDown. You are cussed. Moving on to Asuka versus Io Sky. Hey, look. Asuka versus Io Sky. I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why we didn't see any video package of Asuka and Io Sky. And if anybody says otherwise about this, then you haven't been watching wrestling that long. Because we got the 5-minute ads before, okay, which really is kind of makes me gag. But and I'm sure it makes everybody else gag too. But hey, look, Kairi Sane, we all want her to come back. Was in 90-something% of their entire feud. Now, WWE had to have known that if they showed that video package of them in that feud, that the fans would have eaten that match alive. So instead, we had the 5-minute commercials. They go back to the match. They say a few words about it. And then we hear a faint chant of Kairi Sane. Now, I'm going to tell you, live, that had to have been bigger than a faint chant. Had to have been. Okay? Because WWE has been known to tune down the volume. If they didn't do that then, I would have been highly surprised. Now, Io Sky picks up the victory, and after a barn burner between those two, and then they both hug it out afterwards. I just told you what John Cena's announcement was. Here's the thing about it. I hope that goes to somebody that is in NXT, or that goes to like a Braun Breaker, okay, or somebody like that. So somebody in NXT, or somebody like a Braun Breaker, somebody that is getting ready to, get that big main push, but isn't an Obafemi, And I'm not saying that I am the whole Joy Juice Obafemi fan, but clearly that is the direction they are going for Obafemi. It looks like they are straight ahead, full force, at least as of now, what they like how they were saying last month, it was Obafemi versus Roman Reigns. Well, if it's Obafemi versus Roman Reigns, and I don't see that being at SummerSlam. I see that being at next year's WrestleMania. Obafemi versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. Okay, and if it is that, then why don't you give the John Cena title to somebody like a Braun Breaker or somebody in NXT? Because John Cena really talked highly of NXT in this interview, in this promo, when he came out and talked to everybody and hyped up this event that he was talking about. This King of the Ring type event that he was talking about, that us fans are getting to choose who the winner is going to be, and that the winner could be a loser. It's all about hustle, loyalty, and respect, and that, the winner is going to get a title ultimately in WWE, and that title is going to have John Cena's name on it. So have an NXT person get that strap. That's the direction I'm leaning towards, or somebody like Braun Breaker. I know I just said that about 3 or 4 times. Other than that, just said, it's Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu's involvement in this bloodline saga. If anything happens to Roman Reigns between now and the Clash in Italy, because he'll be at Clash in Italy, so if he's not going to do anything in June, except the pay-per-view in June, then Jacob Fatu take him out, because he has to be written off somehow. And if that report was a bunch of crap, and he's going to be in June, in July, in August, and he is here all summer, who knows what's going to happen? Okay? But Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns, clearly is going to be heading towards Clash in Italy based off tonight, because Roman Reigns won and Jacob Fatu snapped all over Roman Reigns, all over everybody in that ring that was trying to break them apart. It was definitely a sight to see. It was definitely, if you went back and you were trying to find the one spot to watch, that was the spot, the entire show to watch. The Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu matchup, and towards the end of that match, where he just snapped and he put the Tonga death grip on Roman Reigns there for like the last 5 or 6 minutes of the matchup. Definitely that last spot, that match, the main event and the opener. Really, those two saved that show. If it wasn't for those two, I wouldn't have anything positive to say about Adlash here tonight. But guys, remember to become a subscriber today. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all notifications. Thank you for tuning in to this review of Adlash or Backlash, or however you want to think of it. But until I see you again, this is Webby. I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.